What's going on, everyone? How are you going? And welcome to the video. My name is Finlay and you're watching Finlay Supercars. In today's video, we'll be discussing the difference between horsepower and torque, as well as talking to you about the purpose of each and what they actually are. After listening to the intro, you guys should already know what today's video is going to be about. So to start off, I'm going to tell you what horsepower and torque actually are. Horsepower is basically the power that one horse can produce. I'm sorry, you probably already knew that. Let's break up the word horsepower into two parts. You've got horse and power. Let's take a look at the power bit. What does power mean in engineering? Well, it means how much, how far, and how quickly you're able to move something. Horsepower is work. When you push a book across a table, in engineering terms, you are doing work. Just like when a car moves forward. Work is the force and the distance an object moves, all mixed together. And the power is just how quickly you do that work. Simple, right? That's how you get cars like the Koenigsegg Agera RS, which have a mind-blowing top speed of 447 kilometers per hour. But how do you think it manages to go that fast? Well, it's that 1,176 brake horsepower that lies behind the driver's seat. You need lots of power if you want to move further, faster, and have more force. You need more horse. That was a bad joke. Now, moving on to the horse part of the horsepower. Going back in time, before there were cars, how exactly do you think people got around? Horse. They were used to pull things, push things, and carry you to the shops. Say for example, there is a big load of coal stuck in a mine. One horse won't be enough, so you get more horses. The heavier something is, the more horses you'll need to pull it. That leads me back to the cars. If your car weighs 1.5 tons and you want it so it will be able to drive you to school or work on time, you're going to need that horsepower, and lots of it. The heavier the car is, the more power it needs. The world started to change, and instead of a horse, you used a steam train to transport all your goods. That's when people had to figure out, what is the pulling power of a horse? So, James Watt, the man who figured this question out, comes to the conclusion that a horse can produce power up to 33,000 foot-pounds per minute if it was to pull some weight out of a mine shaft. Which, to say in a way that someone like me is more likely to understand, is that a horse should be able to lift 75 kilos. So to sum things up, horsepower is the power that allows a car to go faster, have more force, and go longer distances no matter how heavy. Moving on now, torque. Torque is the measurement of force length. Torque is actually in horsepower. What I mean by force length is the torque is measured in foot-pounds. Foot times pounds. When talking about torque, you're talking about something rotating around an axis. For example, you have a ruler, and on one end it is attached to a rod, and we apply 1 pound of force to the end of that ruler. Then that is then going to be 1 foot times 1 pound, hence the name foot-pound. That was really all I had to say about torque. I spoke for a lot longer when talking about horsepower. Sorry. But now that means I can explain to you what the real difference is between horsepower and torque. I hope you're ready, because I'm about to get a little mathematical here. 1 horsepower equals torque times RPM of the engine over 5,252. You can see the equation on screen. And please, don't ask me where 5,252 comes from. It's just the way the geometry in the maths works. How is torque created? Well, it's simple. The combustion inside your cylinder is what's forcing the piston down inside the engine. Once you have the force pressing down, the distance between where it's pressing on the crankshaft, that creates the torque. Torque is equal to the force distance. Horsepower is equal to force distance RPM. In other words, torque multiplied by RPM. I've now mentioned RPM a few times, and you may be wondering, What is RPM? What does it stand for? Well, it stands for revolutions per minute. It is used to measure how fast an engine is operating at any time. I really hope this video helped. If it did, you already know what to do. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on notifications. That is, if you made it this far in the video, which most people never do, unfortunately. If you haven't already, go check out my other videos. If you liked this video, you may like a video which I made a while ago on how an engine works. So, go check that out. I hope you enjoyed, have a great day, and I'll see you very, very soon for another great video. Stay tuned.